Welcome, dear listeners, to another episode of Vstories. I'm your host, The Good Convo, and today we're delving deep into the world of VTuber lore. In this podcast, we travel across the multiverse to bring you the lore, the stories, and the unfiltered personalities of your favorite VTubers. Today we are joined by the alien invader, Star. Welcome, Star.
Hi, hey, hello there, Earthlings.
So good to have you here today, Star. Well,
I'm happy to be here.
You are actually one of the first guests that we're having here that is actually here on their own free will, which is fantastic. How do you feel about being here?
I'm kind of nervous, but overall happy.
Oh, what are you nervous about?
I've never been on podcast, so it is a new thing for me.
I understand. It can be a little scary sometimes. However, I think you're doing a great job so far, so I have no concerns. I'm sure this will go great.
Yay.
So, the way we do this is we start off by talking about, who you are, what you do, why you're even near this planet. This planet, I mean, the planet that you're currently invading. I'm from another dimension. I dimension hop all over the place, finding new people to interview. But enough about me. Let's talk about you. So, tell me a little about yourself. You're an alien invader?
Well, invading this planet was actually my homework, and I failed. And I started streaming instead of doing my homework. So.
Wait. What?
On my home planet, we were doing this homework to invade one first planet so we can be good enough for the society. So
Okay.
I've picked Earth. And when I got to Earth, I kind of not did my homework, so I started streaming instead because it seemed more fun than doing your homework.
So let me get this straight, and correct me if I'm wrong. It sounds like you're from a society where conquering planets is normal enough to the point where they consider it like your homework for school. And
oh yeah, and it's not even the hardest homework. You can also invade the whole galaxies and stuff.
Wow. So you did this, but you failed apparently. You did not conquer
kind of.
this. So tell me a little about that. Starting off the conversation with, "Oh, I failed," is pretty heavy. What caused you to fail? I guess. I mean, it's a pretty hefty topic, and I'm sorry we're starting off being like, "Why are you such a failure to your species?" But what was the actual reason you weren't able to conquer this version of Earth?
It's not that I am not able. I just don't like doing my homework, and I think that this type of thing in our society is pretty awful, to kill all the human race and conquer the planets. I don't really like to do this stuff. It's kind of like being vegetarian on this planet. You don't like to eat animals because you see it wrong.
Gosh.
And I don't like to conquer planets. So yeah, that's not my thing. I rather play games and stream it.
Okay, so you're choosing the peaceful option.
Yeah. I can always conquer the lives of people through streaming.
Oh, so technically, you're still kind of doing your homework.
Well, this is kind of my freelance thing,
Gotcha. Well, I won't pressure you too much to ask you about your plans for the future, but if you could give me some sort of general idea, like what are you trying to do in the future? What are your goals, your aspirations if you're not doing your homework?
Well, I would rather study on Earth because your homeworks are way easier and stuff. So
Oh.
I would really like to study art. That's like my first
Okay.
goal, number one goal. Yeah.
Wow. Was not expecting that. So you came here to conquer, but it seems that human society and culture has conquered you.
Yeah, you can say it like that. People
Fantastic.
are people are really like, if I could, I would have them as pets, but apparently it's
Oh my god.
not really a good thing to do on Earth since
Well, well, I
things.
mean, some people like being pets. Not saying who, but like. So
So,
anyway, okay. um, so going into another little segment here, sometimes me and my people that I interview, my guests, are aware of our place in the universe and aware that we are actually uh, digital constructs. And I'm wondering, are you also aware of that?
yes, I am.
Gotcha. So we sometimes are able to talk about the creation of the characters that we play and the actual part of being a VTuber. And I'm wondering, how do you feel about talking about that today?
I think it's going to be fine. I could talk about it.
Nice. Well, um, what was like the beginning of this idea of making like an alien girl VTuber?
Well, so I used to stream
Mm-hmm.
without webcam, and I really liked the idea of streaming. It was pretty fun. I could meet new people through chat. I could play with them many games and stuff. And then I was like, I could use my phone as a webcam. So I did.
Oh.
So I was actually streaming with webcam for
Hmm.
quite a while. But then I was like, it's too tiring to always make yourself pretty for the webcam and stuff.
Mm.
And you don't want to make your viewers think that you live as a trashy raccoon.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, let's take a pause. Let's have a break from streaming. And then I was doing other stuff. And then I was like, why did I stop streaming actually? And then I was like, let's start streaming again.
Hmm.
But there was still this one problem with the webcam. So I was like, sucks. How could I stream with something moving, something in there, but with no actual webcam? And then I found out about VTubers, and I was like, that's such a cool thing. And I
Hmm.
was really excited about it, and I wanted to do it. But then I saw, oh, it's really pricey to become a VTuber if you
Yeah.
want to have like really cool models.
Yeah.
So I wasn't VTuber like right away.
Hmm.
I actually made my PNG tuber model, not this one, but some other,
Mm-hmm.
and I started using it. And it was pretty fun. I really liked it, and I was like, what if I learn how to use Live 2D? So I made my first 2D moving model, and I use it till today. But I am making another model. So yeah, some people may have seen it. I've posted VIP in my Discord. And yeah, I started making models. So I actually made a model for moth, if you know, just the
Yeah.
moth.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was pretty good experience, and I think that my next model will be much prettier than the one I'm using currently. So yeah, this is the story of how I, as a virtual, non-virtual person, started streaming.
That's wonderful. I have to um, take a moment to thank you for your honesty and for your transparency there, because that does sound like that does sound like a journey, sort of figuring out what you want to do, and so I'm really happy for you. I do have to quickly mention I muted my mic because I had to burp really loudly, but I forgot to mute the recording mic. So during that wonderful exposition of how you came to be, there's just gonna be a but like
Okay.
so for those who are listening, I don't want to cut her story out. I don't want to cut her story out, but it does mean it's there's gonna be a burp in there, and
Well, they're probably are already gonna know because you did it before. You
yeah.
never explained
So no, so they're already here, just being like, we're not gonna talk about that. We're not gonna. So yeah, thank you for sharing. Do you break character at all while you are streaming, or do you try to stay in character the entire time?
Well, I think I'm pretty good at staying in character.
Very
If
nice.
if I talk about something really like um I don't know how to explain it, like something you do every day, like I don't know, brushing your teeth and stuff.
Hmm.
I always can like bring some of the alien thingy in it. I
Hmm.
could say I'm brushing my teeth with the toothpaste made from this tree that only grows on Mars or something. You know,
Yeah,
I
that's so
always
cute.
like, yeah, I'll always I'm always trying to use some spacey, interesting things in
Hmm.
the default normal talk on streams. So yeah.
Well, you're doing a better job staying in character than most of the people I interact with. So I think you're doing a great job.
Is that right?
I think so. Well, I guess I personally, my character is very similar to who I am as a person. And I do that on purpose because I gotta yawn again. God, you fucking damn it. I do that on purpose because it becomes easier to form connections with people because I don't stream, right? I don't really have a relationship with my audience, and we can get into that later. But I really like forming relationships with the other VTubers, and so my character is very much similar to the actual person behind the camera. I mentioned this in the last episode that I did, but I used to talk like this all the time when I was playing a character that was, a psychopathic professor at the SCP school and blah, 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 and it was so tiring just to be in character all the time and to that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I get it. Well, even though I am in character, I'm kind of not
Hmm.
because I am I am behaving as I would behave as a person in real life.
So
But
you're
I
just
am just putting like small things that add to my backstory and stuff.
mhm, like yeah. So you're just a nice person in general.
You can say that. Something
Nice.
like that. I'm trying to be nice as much as I can because uh, there's this saying in my country that you have to behave the way you want everyone to behave around you.
Hmm. There's kind of in America. There's kind of a similar thing that we are told, which is treat others the way we want to be treated.
Yeah, exactly. I just didn't know the
Hmm.
US version of it.
Yeah,
I could say it in the language of the country I live in.
that might be cool. What does it sound like?
Chovej se k ostatním tak, jak chceš, aby se ostatní chovali k tobě.
Gesundheit.
Yes,
That's
so
very cool. What were you saying?
the same thing as you were saying, the treat others like you want to be treated.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was said in the language of Czech Republic.
Nice.
Czech language.
Moving on, let's talk about your fans, right? As a VTuber, you have a devoted fan base, most likely. But the real question is, how do you interact with your fans, and what do they mean to you? Man, these questions are just getting harder and harder to ask each time because they sound so disingenuous. I'll rephrase it. Like, what is your relationship with your fan base, if you have one?
I think I maybe have small fan base, like few people, like few people who are devoted to me or something.
Whoa.
And yeah, and I don't think I have like big fan base. As you may know, I only have 260 followers or something, and not everyone that are followed to me actually go on my streams.
Oh,
they probably just followed me just because I was on someone else's stream, and they just like shouted me out. So yeah, I have this much followers, but mostly when I stream, there may be max 20 viewers, and most of them are actually new. So, but there are some people who are always on my streams, and I've made them my moderators for the streams.
Wow. 20.
So yeah.
Is 20 viewers like your normal?
Maximum.
Oh, maximum. Okay, I was supposed to be
My
like
my normal is maybe 10, 5. It's really not a lot.
You realize
but that's
10 is, I mean, for a new streamer, 10 is actually pretty good. That's awesome.
Well, there's this thing. I'm not really a new streamer. I've been streaming for 2 years.
Oh.
Yeah, so that's that. And there's more like viewers when I stream interactive games that even the chat can play with me, like Gartic Phone, for example.
Yeah.
Or like Among Us and stuff.
Among Us.
If the viewers can play it with me, they most likely join more. But if I play something that only I enjoy, or no one can like join me and play with me, then there's less people on my stream. So yeah, it is quite hard to stream when you see the numbers.
Yeah.
So it kind of is not the best thing to motivate you. And yeah, and also I actually haven't been streaming lately as much as I would like to, because school.
Oh, I see. You mentioned it a little bit. If you're willing to go into it a little more, you mentioned like the motivation aspect. So I assume, yeah, it'd be really hard to keep up with all that motivation if you're not seeing like the results that you wish you would be seeing. What are some ways that you like managed to power through that?
Well, I always had my boyfriend who was supporting me. He was telling me that I shouldn't quit since I've made like some plays.
Wow.
And also those viewers that became my moderators are also my friends, and they also support me. So the support from my friends and boyfriend was one of the biggest things that was keeping me on. And also, I really like to play this character, Misstarsio, because since I was a kid, I always felt like an alien So I was like
Relatable.
something different. So I was like, why don't I just embrace it? Like let's just make a party. Let's just embrace who I am. So yeah, that's kind of why I'm alien VTuber. And yeah, that also keep me on going with the streaming because I really like the idea of me being alien and I like to make people happy. So
Hmm.
when I was streaming, some people were telling me that I was their comfort streamer for a while.
Aw.
But that was kind of before I became VTuber. When I
Oh,
was
okay,
with the
okay.
webcam, they were telling me that I was really nice and they really liked how I streamed and stuff. But then I had the break, and
Yeah.
when I came back, none of them really remembered me. So I had to
Mm-hmm.
kind of start over. And I had a clean plate so I could start over and I became what I am now.
Gotcha, gotcha. Well, that is truly a beautiful story. Um, and it sounds really disheartening at times having to build from the ground up, even when you've already done it. So, and I can imagine
Yeah,
that the transition from IRL streaming and webcam streaming to VTuber was a bit of a shift for the people that did know you because they were used to seeing your face.
yeah, it was a wild change, but
Mm.
it was kind of nice because I knew the basics of streaming.
Mm.
I knew how to like lure people in, and I just had to rebrand myself, kind of. So
Reel them
yeah,
in. Bring them.
exactly. So yeah, it was kind of sad that those who used to came to my streams never did afterwards, but they are still follow to me, so at least I have their follow.
Very cool. We're gonna uh, jump ship here real quick and move on to like your future goals. Like we've talked a lot about where you came from, but where are you looking to go with this? Like what type of streaming goals do you have set for yourself? What kind of stuff do you want to accomplish here?
Well, I would really like to get my name out there,
Yeah.
that people will know me. And I, if they will know me, I would have more commissions, for example.
Hmm.
And I would really like to make like doing art my job. So uh, if I get my name out there and get commissions, that's kind of the plan. So
You know
that would
what
be
you need
great.
to do? You know what you need to do? If you want art commissions, all you have to do is just DM every single person on Twitter. Sorry, X. DM everyone on X and just DM them constantly saying, hey, I make art commissions. I make art commissions because that works
Uh,
all the time. I'm sure you're
yeah, you think
aware.
so?
I'm sure you're aware.
Uh, yeah, I had many people text me on X with, "Oh, I make this 3D art and I'm here and I can give you a discount." Yeah, that was really fun. That's kind of one of the things that made me quit X.
Ha! Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough.
And also the rebranding and
Yeah.
everything is paid now, so it's not
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
That's why I want to go on Threads by Facebook or Meta,
Yeah.
but it's still not available where I am from,
Oh, okay, okay.
so I have to wait.
Unfortunate, but I haven't tried Threads yet. I hate social media. Period. I wish I wasn't on Twitter or X because it's not my thing. I try to do the interactive stuff. Like, yeah, we're interacting, but I'm like, it's so much work and it does nothing for me.
Yeah, I was pretty active when it was called Twitter, but since they rebranded it to X, I was kind of like,
Meh.
because it changed and not for good.
Yeah. Social media is certainly interesting. We can then move to, so that's where you want to go. You want to make more art commissions. Um, who normally commissions you the most? Is it other VTubers?
Um, well, my first commissions were actually by Moth.
Of course.
They commissioned me for PNG Tuber and also for VTuber model.
Yep.
So yeah, that was my biggest commission yet.
Nice. I heard it wasn't cheap.
Well, it was cheap for
a VTuber model.
For a VTuber model, yeah, because there are like VTuber models for thousands of dollars, and I think that $1,000 is like a default price of a normal VTuber model, but I kind of gave it to him for less than half of it. So
yeah, wow. I made this in Vroid Studio because I'm not spending a dime. I ain't spending money on that. I made this. This looks fine. I'm like, yeah, it's whatever.
Yeah, 3D VTubers are also valid. I get why you would rather make it yourself than I. That's why I actually made my 2D model myself, because I didn't have the money to pay for someone to do it for me.
So, who do you like collabing with normally? Because you're in a server with a lot of us Americans, and I'm wondering, do you mainly collab with people in your own country, or do you mainly collab with people from other countries?
I mainly collab with people like on Discord, on the VTubers Discord. Yeah, because I don't really know many people who stream in my country and are into VTubing and stuff. And also, I mainly stream in English. I've tried streaming in my language, but that did not go as well as I thought it would. So, even though I'm from Czech Republic, I mostly stream in English, so I could have wider range of people on my streams. And yeah, that's it.
Makes sense to me. Well, I'm sorry that that situation sounds maybe a little frustrating, would you say?
Yeah, kind of. Because if I befriend only Americans, I only have to like collab with them when it's night time for me, or really early in the morning. Yeah.
Yeah. Oof. Well, I'm glad you at least have people to collab with, because that's a huge part of the culture. Speaking of VTuber culture, how deep are you? How deep are you into the VTuber culture?
Not really. I just like to stream with the VTuber model, but I don't really go deep in the culture like the famous VTubers. Like, I maybe know one or two famous VTubers just because they're famous, like Iron Mouse, and yeah, that's my it.
I learned about VTubing from Nux Taku, which, I mean, probably is no surprise to people that like.
Oh, I know him. I also know him. Thank you for saying his name. I would not remember myself. I remember Noxoku like from days when he wasn't a VTuber, but he had like his character as a reactor or something.
Yeah, he was essentially he was a commentator YouTube channel. I don't know. I haven't watched him in so long. So I'm just gonna continue.
Yeah, same.
I haven't watched him in so long just because I haven't been recommended any of his videos in a while. Weird. Anyway, but when they started doing like all the VTuber Rule 34 stuff, that was like, oh, I want to make stuff like that. So I do eventually want to do stuff like that on this channel. However, those would be like side podcasts, or like side episodes or something. But yeah, I think the VTubers stuff that we have for the culture is nice, because a lot of the VTubers aren't super into sort of, I would say, some of the negative aspects of the culture, as I'm becoming more and more aware of the culture, simply because of having people on here ranting about the culture. And it's like, oh, so why do you guys do it then? Why do you if it's so toxic, why do you get involved with that culture? Now, unfortunately, internet culture in general is just super toxic, but
Yeah, every fandom, every culture has its dark side.
So in the last segment we're going to do here, we're going to talk about evolution, right? How has your character, this character that you've created, evolved since you've created it? Like, how are some of the changes that have happened to it?
Well, the biggest change, like visually, is my newest model that is in making, because it doesn't have this swoop over the forehead.
Oh, it doesn't have the toothpaste?
No, it doesn't have the Bluetooth face. It's changed, and it is like tucked behind the ears.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's like I would say kind of e-girl style hair.
Oh, we love it. We love it.
Like those stripes you have,
Uh-huh.
you know. Yeah. So I changed it kind of, and you can see more of my forehead on the newest model.
The more
But
toxic, the more
but
better.
but the design of my model did not really change. Maybe like in the really, really old days when this model was just an OC, it had many hairstyle changes. It was once even like bald, but just with the ponytail.
Nice.
It was red ponytail and otherwise bald head.
That's certainly a fashion statement.
Yes, yes, it is. Yes, so those are the biggest visual changes, and like changes from the personality perspective. I don't think it changed that much. Well, Starsail was always like the nice alien that is really interested in finding out new stuff and talking about it. But maybe at the start of my streaming as a Misstarsio, the character was more hyper than it is now. So I kind of muted it down just so I'm not too cringy. So I think I have reached my equality point,
Equilibrium.
Yeah, exactly. So
well, that's
I think that now good. I'm like this is the good stage.
Well, I'm really glad to hear that you feel that way. But I think that sometimes you need a little bit of cringe. You need, like, I mean, look at me, for instance, right? I feel like it's good to have both. Like, you can be relaxed, but you can also be all over the place and be like, yeah, let's go. Peanut butter jelly sandwich.
Yeah. But I'm not cringeless. I still have some of the cringe. I still use dead jokes. This is my main source of jokes is just dead jokes.
What dead jokes do you use?
Many.
Give me an example.
An example.
Right now. Be funny. Be funny right now.
But there's this thing that the jokes are mostly just cringy, not funny.
Be funny. Be funny, damn it.
I cannot think of any joke right now. I'm sorry.
How dare you? You come onto my podcast and have the gall to not be funny right when I demand it? Unacceptable.
I'm sorry.
No. You're making me feel bad. Ugh. You're hard to bully. You're hard to bully because you genuinely make me feel bad when I bully you. So I have to be like, ugh, I guess I can't make fun of them. Now when Moth gets on here, Moth is hilarious to bully.
Yeah, I'm kind of good at guilt tripping people.
Good to know.
Yeah.
Well, with that, we are out of time or stuff here. So finally, I would ask, do you have anything you want to plug for us? Anything that you want the fans to know that you're going to be doing soon?
I'm going to bed soon. Yeah, so.
You're going to bed soon?
Yeah, that's the thing I'm going to tell you.
Let's go!
Okay, so, dear Earthlings, I'm going to bed soon. You need to know that. And I'm probably gonna eat banana. One of the more things you need to know.
Well, gotta
potassium.
Get the potassium.
Yes.
Oh.
Okay, but seriously,
yeah.
You need to be nice to people. Don't trash on someone you think is cringe, like me or anyone.
No promises.
We all have been cringe one time, but not everyone had access to the internet when they were cringy. So don't judge people. Be nice.
I will always judge people for being cringe because I see it in myself. Also, yeah. I like cringe, and I like judging people for their cringe. If I didn't like cringe, I would not be in VTuber server. If I didn't love cringe, do you think I'd be doing this VTubing stuff?
I'm not sure.
The answer is no. But I exude so much cringe, and I love it. It is who I am. It's part of who I am. So I will continue to judge other people for it, but in a consensual, nice way. Like if someone is like, hey, this is starting to hurt my feelings, to be like, oh yeah, I'm totally sorry. Like, I don't want to hurt people's feelings, but I'll totally hurt people's feelings in a fun way. So make sure you go follow Star on all of their social media platforms. I'll leave them in the link in the description. And with that, we conclude this episode of Vstories. A big thanks to Star for sharing their character with us. We would also like to thank our listeners for joining us for this part of our journey. Until next time, don't travel the Sorry. Until next time, I can never get this right. Until next time, be safe, don't travel the multiverse without a peanut butter jelly sandwich, and most importantly, stay cursed, fam. Bye-bye.
Baba booey.
Baba booey. Damn. Damn, Ma, you shit with that ass? Shit.